Gentlemen, brothers, architects of the future, welcome back. Dwayne Langham, masculine leader architect in the building for another architect's blueprint breakdown. Now, with that, I got a special guest. We're doing a dual collab here. My man Q is going to dive in. We're going to be breaking down some footage from Jack Reacher. This is episode one. You know, we got to look out for the copyright bandits, the computers, robots, AI scanning to make sure. So we're going to break down some segments here, no more than 1 or 2 minutes. But basically, we're going to be underlining the signs of masculine principles, as always, through the filter of divine masculine, feminine energy.
Canceling their enhanced drug enforcement efforts off the eastern seaboard. Sources say the program, which began a year ago, has been responsible. Stop your train! Let out! Oh, don't you hear me cry? Ooh.
Now, you're gonna slide out from behind that booth, nice and slow.
Do it now! Slow!
Heads! Hands behind your head.
Hands behind your head! Interlock your fingers! Interlock your fingers!
Turn around.
Face the window!
Desert's gonna have to wait. You're under arrest for murder. Come on.
All right, so that scene, I think, was a demonstration, again, masculine grounding, calm amongst the storm. This ain't his first rodeo, like you get that sense. A couple of things. The one where he's aware of his surroundings, like that's a masculine trait. Any city I go to, I'm obviously figuring out what are the back roads, but what are the back streets. Like you want to know your surroundings because when you're tapped into the environment, then you know what's happening around. You never get caught off guard. You peep game that first he hears the sirens. He's just going about his business, eating his pie. You hear the sirens in the background. He's paying attention and aware. First police car pulls up. First, how oblivious all the other bystanders are. There was a woman and a man talking right by the window where the car pulled up. They're just having a conversation, don't even notice. Other car pulls up. Nobody in the diner is nervous or even aware of what's going on. He already knows the type of situation. And mind you, you watch the show, you find more about his background and where he got that type of training. But the context that he's seen some life before, he's got some war wounds, he's got some experience. He just sets out order, you know, let me pay for this pie that I done had. It's not going to be time to enjoy this. It's like he's seen it before. And from that, I say mature masculine energy is calm, cool, and collected. It's got experience. And from that experience, understanding how the world works. And there's certain things, I mean, yeah, we're watching it cinematography again, so it is telling a story. And what I relate to in my own life as a normal man, I'm aware of my surroundings. If a cop car pulls out, where's the threat? Like cops don't come out screeching, you know, guns drawn and all that, unless there's something going down. So for myself, even as a civilian, there's certain things I'm already going to be keying off, especially, I mean, let me be out with family or the kids or something like that. Yo, let me get the kids behind me. I don't know what's going to happen and I'm going to be prepared. But what I liked in the demonstration with him, his world was just so unbothered. I mean, honestly, they could have written this straight out of some Stoicism 101 because in the whole thing, you know, he's going to pay for his pie. He's got hands on the table. Like you can tell that's also the experience is he might have been a bad apple. He might have had some experience in the back of a cop car.
Right.
He knows what to expect. I mean, we're both black men, you know, we get pulled over. There's certain things you don't want to do. Let me turn that music down. Let me turn the car off.
Show my hand
on the wheel.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like just, I'm prepared for the situation. I don't want to be perceived as a threat. So that alone tells me that there's some experience and maturity. You know, he's not frazzled. He's not caught off guard. Let me go ahead and finish my pie first. Like he already peeped the scene. Oh, second car came up. Okay, something's going down here. He just got into town, you know, which was the intro to this whole scene. So even that, if you walk into a town and all of a sudden 2 cops pull up to the location you are, everybody else is easy breezy every day, and you got a history behind you, you might be aware. I might need to be on my P's and Q's. Something might be about to go down. So just more demonstrations like stoic, masculine, just grounded principles show up for me.
That's so great. As you was talking, the number one thing that I took from what you said was that he was aware of his surroundings. If you ever hear stories about Malcolm X, he always sat in the back of the restaurant where he could see everything around him. I got into a training called Feng Shui, which talks about the command position, like seating at a table, right? And being a masculine trait is being aware of your surroundings. For my last year, my daughter had her birthday, and we was at a Mexican restaurant, and I noticed that it was a problem. Nobody else noticed the problem except me. And I had to go get the manager and everything like that. And the manager stepped right in before these people was about to come to blows, right? And that came from me having the training of like being aware of my surroundings, being aware of my surroundings. But one of the things that made me aware of my surroundings is like when I was a child, somebody shot through my mom's window while me and my sister was sleeping. We had to get up real fast, and I had a couple of violent situations where everything was all good one minute, but the next minute it became life-threatening. So that really trained me to be aware of everything that's going on around me, because just because it's not your problem, that doesn't mean you can't be affected by the problem. And when you are, and this is when we talk about masculinity, this is that aspect of protection and provision that a lot of people look over, right? Like, it's your job as a man, when you have children, when you have a family, when you step into a space, to provide a level of protection for the people by being aware of your surroundings. And so I think that is, because as we're talking about this, I'm like, yeah, divine masculine traits. I love the fact that you brought that up, because it's something that I talk to men about all the time, because like everything is energy, even when we talk about the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And you could take a subservient role when you're not aware of your surroundings, right? Like you forget, like, like when you look at a table and how a table is situated, you got the head of the table. Literally, it's men that have authority issues in their life because they don't sit at the head of the table in their own house, right? And they're not aware of their surroundings. And so there's this concept called husbandry, right? Husbandry basically means to conserve and to use energy in a powerful way. And it's crazy because when you talk about being a husband, most men don't think like that in our modern day society. Like, we've been told, go get you a man cave, decorate your man cave, and let the woman decorate the house. But when you step into your divine masculine, it is important for you to decorate your house. It's important for yin and yang to be present in the house, not just the woman's touch. It's also important to have the man's touch. So I think that was a great lesson.
I had a similar experience out in nature at that, down in Florida. Had my family out, we're out in the ocean, out in the water. And it's actually my first experience with wildlife so close. And at first what looked like a big industrial trash bag floating through the water. This is big, large, black, and I mean like maybe 10 feet away, sucker was a manatee.
Ooh.
And I'm there in the water, got my girls behind me, wife was there, and they're about maybe 2-3 feet away from me. We just in the water, and I look up, notice that, and just on alert. I'm standing up, let me peep the scene, because I mean, I'm familiar and aware of a manatee, and I don't work at SeaWorld, so it ain't something I stroll up on.
Right.
But I mean, it's the size of this desk. Like, there's a substantial animal, wild animal right there from my family, and just everything you're talking to, that natural protection provision. Because even if manatees are fairly safe, it's still an animal. It's still just and we're in their home.
Right.
So just it's crazy because it is energetic masculine principles. I don't have a protocol. Nobody taught me or say, hey, what? All I know is I got my family here. There's some nature there. Stand up, be on attention and alert, keep my back to them so they're safe. If anything, I'm between the threat, and that's just what was naturally there. He cruised on through. It was no big deal.
Okay.
But it automatically was, yo, what's that? Is that a trash? No, that's something moving, swim. Okay,
right.
what are we looking at? all right, now we good. We
Right.
good. And like, I can look back later like, oh, it was a manatee so close, but I'm not just, oh, look at this. Let me go touch it. Like you never know. Like
Right.
protection is the first natural thing there. It just kicks in. Like you can't turn that sort of thing off.
Yep. That's beautiful.